Yeah, this is a another episode. My fault of Fumbles and Floaters. I'm Blake,
Bobby Buckets
and we're going over week 12, 11,
going over week 11. We're
week
going into week
11.
12.
It was a good
Going
one.
into week 12. It was a good one. I'm telling you, all the games, I think almost every game that we talked about last show that we said were going to be good, I think they all ended up being pretty damn good.
Yeah, I feel like they all went like down to the last 5 minutes, 2 minutes, pretty much
Yeah,
all of
we
them.
yeah, we had a couple overtime games like,
Yeah,
we got a lot to talk about, a lot to talk about. So let's start it off. Thursday night football. Cardinals and Seahawks. This was one of the games we said, it's a big game.
yeah,
Big game for the division, the NFC West. And the Seahawks finally bounced back. Um, it was a really it was like a back and forth game. Like it was like wasn't sloppy. There wasn't really any turnovers. The Seahawks the last couple weeks they've turned the ball over a lot. So that was
yeah.
good to see, the Seahawks finally take care of the ball. Lockett and Metcalf both got into the end zone. So that's, last week they kind of struggled. Um, Versus the Rams, I believe it was. So,
Yep.
um, yeah, the Seahawks they needed this win bad. I'm not gonna lie, they needed it bad.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, they didn't know it, but now we know in hindsight the Rams won as well. So it's pretty
Yeah,
much just neck and neck who's going to keep going. And like you said, the Seahawks, Russell Wilson's been turning over a lot, and he came through on this one. It was exciting because, I mean, obviously people compare Kyler to Russell Wilson, but Russell Wilson still showing he got it, showing the young buck. But I don't know. We could see three teams from the NFC West in the playoffs. At least two. At least two.
you'll see. I think you'll see three. To be honest, the way
That would
the
be
you know the,
wild.
like you said, the Rams actually got a win. So now they're 7-3. Seahawks are 7-3. Seahawks 6-4, or not Seahawks. Seahawks 7-3.
Mm,
Cardinals 6-4. So it'll be interesting to see who wins the division, but I think two of those teams will get the wild card, especially with three wild cards now. So
And what's crazy is the 49ers will be damn good too, but they've just been injured.
yeah,
So
exactly.
that's a really tough division.
They're still 4-6 with all their injuries. They've had so many injuries. I feel bad for them, but I
Yeah.
mean, like they were what? They were in the Super Bowl last year, so
Yep.
not like it's not like and then now they're at the bottom of the division. But
Sucks.
all right, moving into Sunday's games, let's start with the easy one. Steelers, Jags. Jags put up
Hey.
3 points. Steelers dominated them, and
That
the
dude we
Steelers
were
are still
talking about.
undefeated.
Let
Huh?
that man
Yeah,
got whooped.
he got. I'm not gonna lie though. You see the Steelers like they just got swagger out there. Fitzpatrick, Minnick Fitzpatrick, I think got another pick after I forget. I think it was Chris Conley or whatever.
Oh yeah, the
He
receiver.
caught it and he tried to truck him or something like that, and like Miss Fitzpatrick did something. They're like they're getting into it or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Steelers just dominated them.
Yeah, there's not really much to talk about. I mean, the
Yeah.
Steelers are running away with the spot in that division and maybe even home field advantage or the bye. It's the bye week, yeah, in the playoffs. So
Yeah. Yeah, I think they're secured. I mean, the Chiefs are only a game out because they got a big win, but we'll
that's
talk
true.
about that
Yeah.
later.
Yep.
Um, Lions and Panthers. Now, this was an interesting one because I mean, not the game really, but just because Teddy Bridgewater ended up not playing.
Yeah.
So we had PJ Walker, who he came from like the AFL or CFL. He was like a
Yeah.
stud in whatever one of those leagues or whatever. And I'm not gonna lie, he had some solid moments, and then he
Mm-hmm.
threw like a couple picks, and you're like, what are you doing? Like just bad throws. But the Panthers handled this game. The Lions, the first time they didn't score in a game in the Matthew Stafford era.
That's crazy. I didn't know that,
Yeah, no point, zero, donut.
dude. I don't. I don't know why they. Matt Patricia is a terrible coach, dude. Why'd they move on from what was their previous
Uh,
coach's name? You know what
I
I'm
don't,
talking about?
I don't remember.
But I don't. But
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
that's a big thing. I think Matt Patricia got overhyped being from Belichick, and it
of
was a
course.
terrible.
That's how it always is with Belichick.
Yeah, and
They love.
it
It
was.
happened with McDaniels. I mean, obviously he's a great
Yep.
offensive coordinator, but when he went to Denver and stuff like that, it didn't work out. And these
Yeah,
funny because these like obviously these two teams have the same like colors, but like they're like the same team. Like they're
they
kind of
are.
just mid-level. You're not really scared of them. Obviously the Panthers have had more success in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but you're just not like you never feel like they're legit most of the time,
No, definitely not.
especially right now. Next up, Patriots at Texans. This was a fun one. You had Cam versus Watson.
Hmm.
Um, they both threw over 300 yards. Watson looked really good this game. I think
Yeah,
I feel bad for him, because he was considered like great quarterback, and then they lose Hopkins, they have Bill O'Brien, and they're just bad, and like he gets the worst of it. But this was a solid game. The Patriots had a chance to win the game. Um, I remember on one of the last drives, it was like a big, I think third down or something like that, and JJ
hmm,
Watt, swats down a pass. He had like a couple swats. He's always known for
classic.
being JJ SWAT classic, exactly. So
Yeah,
it's good to see him healthy actually for
yeah.
how many injuries he's went through.
That's what I was gonna say. He's been super injured, which sucks because he's like a generational player. And yeah, on Watson, I mean, he was in the same stratosphere as Lamar Jackson and Mahomes like a year or two ago. I mean, maybe not as good as Mahomes, maybe a little bit better than Lamar, but at least I'm glad they fired Bill O'Brien because he wasn't going to take them nowhere. But they still got to keep putting pieces around him. Will Fuller and David Johnson ain't going to cut it. But they're going to get a good draft pick, right? Like a top 5 probably.
Nope, because they gave it to the
Oh,
Dolphins.
oh my
Yeah, the Dolphins are gonna get a
god,
really good one.
dude!
Shout
I
out to
really
the
forgot
Dolphins.
about. Okay,
Yeah,
dude, never
shout out to the
mind.
Dolphins.
Just throw the whole
Yeah,
team
it's tough.
away. That's sad, dude.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
my
tough.
god. Okay,
But yeah,
well,
that's what I'm saying. The Texans are
that's so
they're
bad.
down bad right now. They're down bad. All right, next up, Titans Ravens. This was another really good one. We said it
That was a great
last
one.
week. Um, it was back and forth. Lamar was able to drive him down the field and get him in field goal range. Justin Tucker, he's not going to miss.
It's
They
automatic.
go to overtime. It goes to overtime, and the Titans or the Ravens get the ball first, but they
Hmm.
get a 3 and out, I believe,
Yep.
and the Titans get it and they just roll down the field. And you just see Derrick Henry with like a
Man,
man run for the game. Like it's like over a 20-yard run, man. It was good. But that was a big win for the Titans. The Colts actually won their game, which we'll talk about in a little bit, but like that's a big game for the AFC South. And the Ravens now they dropped to 6-4, but they're behind the Browns now.
yeah,
They haven't
it's
looked
not looking
good.
good at all. Even their defense, which is touted as being really good, has not looked good at all. Yeah, that man Derrick Henry, I don't know. I think he's a partial owner of the Ravens now, isn't he? After last season and this season, that man is
Man, he might
he's
be.
he's automatic to pull off a big time run because I know he's kind of been up and down this season.
Yeah,
But
he started slow this game too,
yeah,
but then towards the end,
he's good
got
for
the
one of those
game-winning
big
touchdown,
runs.
big runs. Yeah,
And especially like you said, since the Colts won, it's good the Titans won to keep pace to win the division, or at least, I mean, one of those teams is probably secured a wild card spot or close
yeah.
to. So
That's yeah. You're looking now like the Ravens could be in a tough spot because you got one of those teams that
super
are
tough.
the Ravens, or you got one of those teams between the Colts or Titans that could get the wild card. You got the Browns who are ahead of the Ravens now.
The,
The Ravens play the Steelers this week, so like if the Browns steal one, if they play, I believe they probably play the Ravens again. If they steal
yep,
one, and then you still got the Raiders
the
at six
Raiders.
and
Yep.
four who are known to have a pretty light schedule the rest of the way. They've already played their 2 games versus the
Yikes,
Chiefs, and then you also got the Dolphins who are they're still there. They're still there. They lost a tough one, but they're still
dude. What
there.
does that do for the Ravens when you? That wouldn't be good. They got to figure something out because you got an MVP quarterback and you got a pretty good team, good coaching. You got all that. You can't miss the playoffs.
Yeah, that would be tragic. Next, Eagles, Browns.
Oof.
The
Oh
Eagles, oh my goodness, the Eagles are just down bad. They the Browns defense had like I felt like they won this game single-handedly. They got like
yeah.
I think they had a pick six, a
Mm-hmm.
couple interceptions, a couple fumbles. I don't know. The Eagles look terrible. They just look terrible. They got all their weapons back and stuff, and they just look terrible. Carson Wentz looks
Yeah.
terrible. And the Browns pretty much handled this win. They got Kareem Hunt. I know he had a crazy touchdown run, and Nick
Dude,
Chubb.
Nick Chubb's dude, he's a baller, old school, like wearing
Yeah, the
nothing
old
on his
school
arms and
nothing out
stuff.
there.
I'm
Just
like,
yeah,
dude, he just looked like a running back. That was
Between him
great.
and Kareem Hunt, man, they dominated, and
That's
their defense. That's all they needed, really.
terrifying, dude. That's not fair. Like one
Yeah.
one of them gets tired, and it's like the defense is like, okay, thank God. Nope.
Oh.
Kareem Hunt comes in, a Pro Bowler. But
Yeah.
dude, let's talk about Carson Wentz because, as we know, I'm a Cowboys fan, I'm a Dak fan, and I'm sick of the the Wentz Dak debate. I don't know who you taking because
It, it,
Wentz,
it it's not a debate
he's
anymore.
looking rough,
I'm
dude.
I'm taking Dak. Um, like I will say, obviously Dak has had better weapons and all that type of
Yeah,
stuff, but
for sure.
Wentz has looked bad.
Like
And we've
that.
seen, even though like they're okay, he probably like their O line, like the
Yeah.
weapons, like okay, but like we've seen great quarterbacks even with that, like be better than what he's been. Like he's just been bad.
Like some of his
Um,
decisions. Do you remember that when the running back was like running out? He
yeah,
was
and he
running like
just
a
yeah, that
little.
was the pick
Like
six.
what
Yeah,
the?
and he just
What
throws
was
that. Like
that?
yeah, like it's like yeah, no, he's been bad. I think he has like the most turnovers in the league right now.
Yeah.
Um, it's been bad, and like I said, he like obviously like he's better than what he's playing at right
Oh, for
now, even
sure.
though the team is terrible.
For sure.
But he's looked bad just as well. So
Yeah.
um, I'm definitely taking Dak though. Next up, Falcons Saints. This wasn't much of a game,
This is
but I
a
mean
weird one.
Hill's fun. Hill's getting his first start ever. You know, everyone thought it should have been Jameis Winston. Hill was solid. Like he didn't play bad. He didn't really throw the ball great. He made some good throws. He definitely did make some good throws. I know one he made a great throw and it got called back, but he had two rushing touchdowns. But it's kind of to be expected with him. I had him at fantasy as my flex because he was eligible at tight end. So
Yeah. What are
that
they?
was kind of fun.
Wait. What is he
They changed
eligible
it now.
for?
They changed it now. He's not eligible this week now, but he was eligible at tight end and quarterback. I was like, all right, well I'm gonna start him at
So he's only eligible for quarterback now.
yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, no, it was crazy. The Falcons, they put up 9 points. The Saints defense looked really good. Um, yeah, I don't know. The Falcons are just one of the disappointments of the league at this point.
Yeah, it sucks because they're talented. Like
They're very
they
talented.
have two of the top 10 to 15 receivers in the league. I mean, Matt Ryan's still a top 10, 15 QB.
You got Todd Gurley.
Todd Gurley, and
You thought that
he's
was
looked
gonna be a good
solid.
signing. Yeah, you thought
Yeah.
that was gonna be a great signing. I love Todd Gurley.
So on the Saints, I'm I feel like they should start Jameis, dude. I don't. I mean,
That's what I
Hill
was thinking.
is dope, but I would much rather give Hill more time at running back, receiver, special teams, and then have Jameis or whatever the hell he wants to do, and have Jameis in that quarterback, even though he's prone to turnovers and stuff. Um, because they did play the Falcons, whose defense is terrible. He's not gonna be able to do that versus everybody, and they're gonna play other teams. They're gonna be able to lock Hill up at quarterback. So,
Yeah,
but they
yeah,
did what they were supposed to do.
I'm not. Yeah, it's tough. I don't know like how that decision went down, but I would say Michael Thomas had his best game with Hill at
Yeah,
quarterback. Then so I mean
that's true.
he didn't play bad, but like it's just we know what James Winston's capable of doing, and as long as he can, if he takes care of the ball, then they're obviously better off. Like his potential is higher than Hill,
For
if that
sure.
makes sense. If he takes care of the ball, but maybe they're like, yo, our defense is really good,
That's true.
and Hill might take care of the ball, and we'll roll with that.
It was
That
like
could have been it.
Bridgewater last year, who wasn't
Yeah,
going to
like
get you 30, 40 points, but he's not going to turn the ball over, really. So
exactly.
that's
So
true.
maybe I don't know. That could have been it, but who
For
knows?
sure. I bet it was.
Next, next up, Bengals Washington. Now this is a sad one.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow, number one picks out for the year. He tore his ACL and MCL. I don't know. It was all bad. And the crazy thing was on that play, like they didn't get a flag. It looked like it should have been a flag. He tackled him low for like all this stuff they call him
Yeah.
like it was a low. Like it was unfortunate. Like once you've seen the hit, you're like, wow, like it's done. Like everyone knew it was bad. He tweeted out like right after, like my
Yeah.
season's over, before they probably even knew exactly what was wrong. So like,
Yeah.
and just by his reaction on the ground, you could just tell. But they were actually, I will say that like they looked like they're about to win that game versus Washington until he got hurt. Their offense was doing pretty well. They were like, bro had a lot. I think he was over 200 yards already, and it was like
Mm-hmm.
third quarter, and they were driving on him. I think the couple times in the red zone, they didn't convert, but it looked like they were going to win that game. And he gets hurt, and Washington just kind of ran away with it at that point.
That's what's crazy with the Bengals. I feel like they're super close. They need some more O-line help, but it's like they have three good receivers. They got Boyd, Higgins, and AJ Green. They got good running backs. They got Burrow. Their defense is kind of iffy, but they got to get that man some help because
Yeah.
their O-line just gets torched. I know Washington, they have one of the better D lines, and Chase Young looks
Yeah.
really
He
good.
is a
He's a
monster.
baller. So I don't know. I think both those teams have really good directions and foundations. Whereas with like the Lions, you're like, I don't know what they're doing. Those teams, you're like,
Yeah.
okay, they got some good pieces. So, but yeah, it's super sad he got hurt. You don't want to see that for a rookie, but yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, it's always kind of weird. Like, I like how you like brought up the lines because like I feel like teams like that, like they always have like a good but not great quarterback, and they're kind of just sitting here like we gotta pay him to keep him, and they always
Yeah,
pay him to keep him, and then they kind of
exactly.
they never really have the other pieces.
Hmm.
Where compared to like a Washington, maybe like you got your defensive pieces, you got Young, you get a couple young guys like McLaurin and stuff as a receiver
Yeah,
has been really good. Um, maybe you get some O line and stuff like that, and then you're just like, okay, we just need a quarterback eventually, and it's kind of like two different ways. But like that team that always pays that mediocre quarterback is always just stuck. Like they're always just stuck.
exactly.
Like you've seen it like I mean, kind of like the Chargers in the past. They've always been kind of like that mediocre. The
100%.
Lions in the past, just teams like that you always see. So it's definitely interesting to see. Washington, they could win the division. The NFC East is the Eagles are 3-6-1, and everyone else is 3-7. I mean,
So
who
bad, dude.
knows? It's so bad. Next up, Jets, Chargers. Chargers
Okay.
pretty much control this game. The Jets are terrible. Now you're talking about a team that has like nothing. You
Absolutely
know,
nothing.
they have like nothing to build off. That you got the Jets, man. Joe Flacco throws like a easy pick six that it looked like you could have went out there and snagged it and got a free touchdown celebration once you win the end zone because that was
Oh
free.
my god.
He's like, here you go, take this. And it like I don't know. Herbert had a huge game over 300 yards. Keenan Allen had 16 receptions,
Oh
145
my
yards and a
god.
touchdown.
I don't
16
think I knew he had
receptions,
16.
16. Like they
Bro,
just dominated.
the
The Jets came
Jets
back a little bit
suck.
to make the score not look as bad, but
So
Jets are
does Herbert may win rookie of the year now that Burrow's out because Burrow was didn't have as many big games, but he had a pretty good game
yeah,
every
yeah.
game. But Herbert may be I mean, who else would be
Tua came on pretty late, and he's not really putting up
yeah,
numbers.
it may be Herbert's.
Um, yeah, who else would it? Yeah,
It may be
I don't know
Herbert's to win.
what was the other rookie quarterback? Burrow, Herbert,
And
Tua.
Tua.
Is that it? That's the only ones on
Yeah,
the team.
I think it's the only yeah, for
Yeah,
rookie of the year at least.
yeah,
I
yeah. Cause
mean, Herbert, because like you mentioned, the Chargers are another one of those teams that have been kind of stuck in the mud, but now they have Herbert. I think they just
mhm.
need a coaching change because they have other pieces. I mean, they got Mike Williams, they got Keenan, they got. I know they've had injuries and stuff
Yeah,
for
Eckler's been hurt.
Derwin. I know
They
has
got
been
Hunter
hurt.
Henry.
Yeah,
Hunter Henry.
so they may be a good team for the years to come once they kind of figure a few things
Yeah,
else out. But yeah, the
yeah,
Jets
and
are
they got
just.
Bosa too.
Oh
Bosa's.
yeah, yeah. He's been
I
quiet
think he
though.
got hurt too. I think he got hurt too.
Okay,
Not sure. I don't know if both of them did or one of them did. I know the one on the Niners.
he's for sure out for the
He's for sure
season.
hurt, and I think the Chargers one. I don't know if he got hurt or not. But yeah, the Chargers. They dumb. I mean, this is Jets though, so
Yeah, just expected.
yeah. But like you said, they got a bright future. Dolphins, Broncos. Now this was a bad one for the Dolphins. They needed this win, especially going for the wild card.
Yeah,
The Broncos really just controlled the game. Tua looked like how he did the first week he started because like he just didn't
Rams.
get it going.
Yeah,
Um, and then they benched him.
yeah.
I couldn't tell if they benched him or if he
They
got
did
like
bench him.
hurt. Like yeah, but like like they were trying to say at first like he got hurt, but like
Nah.
they ended up benching him. Ryan Fitzpatrick almost had a chance to bring him back. He ended up throwing a pick on the last drive to tie it. But the Broncos pretty much just controlled the game on the ground, really. I think Lindsey had over 80 yards, Melvin Gordon had over 80 yards, and the Dolphins' offense just could never get it going.
Yeah, it reminds me of, well, a couple things. One, this, like you said, for sure was a game a Dolphins should have won and they needed to win versus a mediocre team. You got to win those if you want to get to the playoffs. And then two, it reminds me of the Baltimore situation when Lamar took over for Flacco. I remember they had a solid season. They were in the playoffs, but it's like you got to leave Tua in there. I know, like you said, some people said it's because of injury, but the coach came out and said like they benched him because he was having a tough one, and Tua knows it. And yeah, he he had a rough one, but I mean, as a rookie, getting that experience, I think it's really good. And you got to ride with your guy. You can't keep flip flopping. That's I don't think that's great for his development as a QB.
Yeah, and that whole situation is kind of weird too because like the Dolphins were playing well, Ryan Fitzpatrick was playing pretty well,
Yeah,
and then they just benched him because it was the bye week, and they were like, okay, I think going into it, they're like, okay, when this bye week comes, we're going with Tua. Fitzpatrick is going up until the bye week, and that's what it seemed like the decision was because it didn't matter how Fitzpatrick like they were playing solid,
yeah.
and they just bench him, and then Tua comes in. And then you like this game, it wasn't like they weren't getting blown out where it's like, okay, the
No,
game's over, is over, get them out to save from injury, and
exactly.
also there's no reason for him to be in the game or something like that. Knowing like Tua's injury path, like there's no, this was a like close enough game where okay, like let's see if he can bring us bring us back. And like Fitzpatrick had a chance to, but like as a rookie though, like you want to have like build that trust in Tua where you're like, okay, let's see if he can bring us back, and like this could be a big moment for him. Um,
No,
and like you
I
say, like
agree. Yeah,
you shouldn't just bench him and then like we're still rolling with them, but you were struggling, so like get out. Like
yeah.
I don't know,
That's kind of
it
whack.
was yeah, unless they're getting blown out, but
Exactly.
yeah, we'll see them moving forward though. They need some wins to keep in that wild card spot.
For sure do.
Next up, this is a big one right here. Cowboys, Vikings. The Cowboys win.
Thank
They
God,
get it
dude.
done in Minnesota. Andy Dalton comes back. This is the first game back, right?
Red Rifle, baby. Yeah,
And he leads
that man had a concussion and COVID. I'm like, bro, I would have to take the whole year off if I had both of those back to back.
them to a win.
Yeah,
I know what. CD had a crazy catch.
dude, that was wild. He was
He had a wild
parallel with
catch.
the ground.
Thielen had a crazy catch in the back
Yeah,
of the end zone with the one hand.
he did.
Kirk Cousins actually had a great game. Over 300 yards, 3 touchdowns.
I mean, it was a fun game to watch,
Cook had
honestly.
a solid game, but the Cowboys get it done. How?
Dude, I think this is just how we were supposed to play. I think the bye week helped. The play calling's been iffy. It didn't seem like players wanted to play, and a lot of players came out with passion, which is, as a Cowboys fan, kind of what we've been looking for. Because I mean, we may have the best. Um, I don't know what they're called, running back receiver core in the NFL. I mean, all those receivers are starting on other teams. Zeke's going to start on almost every team. Our defense has good players, but it's been iffy. But I think it was a good win. I mean, the Vikings aren't, they've had a rough year as
They
well,
were
but
hot though. They were hot.
they won like four in a row, right? Or a
It
couple,
might have been like 3. Yeah, it might
maybe
have been
three.
like 3.
Okay.
They were
But
4 and
Dalvin
5.
Cook,
Yeah,
he been
he
cooking,
was.
no pun intended, but they looked good. And we needed this one coming into Washington. That looks like a winnable game and we can take the lead in the division, which is garbage.
Whoa! You got to make sure the Eagles lose first.
They're trash. Wait, I don't even know who they're playing next, but Eagles are gonna lose,
Yeah, I
dude.
know.
So
We'll look
now
at
the
that.
Cowboys coming into Thanksgiving, maybe the top three in the NFL. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Top 3
Um,
what?
what
Top 3 what?
top three team?
And in the NFC East?
That's messed up. Out of
They're
four, top three out of
they're,
four.
they're the top 3 out of 4 in the NFC East. Nice.
My fault. That's what I meant to say.
Okay,
But
yeah.
dude, it's so good because I'm gonna be honest with you, dude. The game before this one, I turned it off at halftime, and I think the one before that, I turned it off at halftime. So it's good to watch a full game and see happiness and joy.
Oh man, that's tough. That's tough. Well, all right, we'll move on though. But Cowboys, they could win the division. Packers, Colts. This was another game that we
Yeah,
marked that was going to be a good one. And the Colts win in overtime. The Colts are legit. They're legit. They're legit.
Dude, that was man. I bet Aaron Rodgers couldn't sleep. His
I,
receiver.
Aaron Aaron Rodgers is hurting.
Oh
They
my
Aaron
god.
Rodgers, they had a good game. Um, and they get the ball like so they goes to overtime, tie
Yep.
game in overtime. The Packers get the ball first. When I've seen that, I'm like, it's over.
Oh yeah,
It's over. It's done. Aaron Rodgers got the ball first in overtime. It's done. It's over.
for sure.
I think it was like a second. I think it was second down and like 5 or something like that.
That sounds right. Yeah.
Simple screen pass.
Yeah.
Dude catches it.
Two blockers in
And he
front.
2 blockers in front. And the dude just fumbles it. Not even like it didn't get punched out. It didn't get stripped out. He just had it pretty loose, and the dude like barely hit him, like around the leg or something. Like dude hit his like leg or something, and the ball just pops out.
Dude.
And I knew there's no Aaron Rodgers stunned. Then the Colts are already in field goal range. It's done. It's game over. They got one of the best kickers in the league. Um, yeah, I know Aaron Rodgers stunned. He had a good game.
That always sucks, but I always go back to I don't remember where I heard this from, but kind of it's more in applicable to the NBA, but NFL too. You can't let plays like that dictate a game. If you lose off one
Yeah,
play, you didn't really lose off one play. You should have won it earlier, and it was a close game all game. But that sucks
that
because
hurts.
I mean it's not the Packers are still going to win their division, right? I mean
Yeah,
nobody's really worried about that, but yeah, the Colts are gaining steam. Like I know we've talked about it before, but their defense is super underrated. They got DeForest Buckner, who's a baller. They got a rookie safety, the one that made the play. A
yeah,
lot of people are talking about him as winning defensive rookie of the year. Philip Rivers, who knows? I was kind of iffy on the
yeah.
signing of
Their
him, but
yeah, their rookie Pittman had a nice little
Pittman,
touchdown, whatever,
yeah,
40
and
yard. He's been
Taylor, their running back,
solid. Yeah, the Taylor had a good one. So, like they got a little underrated squad. They've been
super.
balling. They're 7-3. If you told me the Colts would be 7-3 right now, I'd probably be like, I don't know.
Yeah,
But it does show too the greatness of Philip Rivers too. Like
for
he
sure.
doesn't look pretty. He kind of had looked like Drew Brees. He has looked like Drew Brees,
Yeah,
throwing the football like doesn't look pretty. Like that's why you think about T.Y. Hilton hasn't had a great year because that deep threat. He can't really throw it that deep.
yeah. It looked like it
um,
hurt when he throws.
yeah, exactly. So, but they're good. They got a lot of good running backs in their rotations, different receivers. You never know he's gonna go to, and they're like you said, their defense has been great. So,
Yeah.
this is a big one for them. Next up, this one stung. This is a stinger. Chief Raiders, man.
Woo!
This was a great game
It
though. I'm
was
not gonna lie.
really good.
This was really good. The Raiders, like you're thinking, like watching the game, you're thinking, okay, the Chiefs might run away with this at some point, and the Raiders just stood strong. Like I think right before half, you're thinking, oh, Mahomes gets the ball back, like they're about to score. They get a stop, and then they get the
Yeah.
ball right after half. But like you're thinking, like, oh, if you get the ball to Mahomes again before the half, he's going to score. And then they get the ball at half. They got a big stop. Um, Nelson Aguilar had a pretty good game. Derek Carr has
Dude,
looked
he
really good.
looks
People don't talk
great.
about it. He looks really good. Like he
Yeah.
made some great throws. They come down with like might have been like 2 minutes left. Jason Witten touchdown
Dude,
game, right?
I absolutely knew it was not game, but I saw that old man catch it and he was so happy. He like they won the Super Bowl. And I was like, man, y'all better stop celebrating. That man Mahomes was already warming up.
Yeah,
I was like, oh
yeah, we score and
my
I
God.
was hyped though. I'm not gonna lie. I'm
Oh,
hyped.
for
Like
sure.
we got the lead, but knowing if we weren't if it wasn't the Raiders, I would have been like, okay, like just like I said with Aaron Rodgers, Mahomes, oh, they're scoring. But me, I'm a Raider fan, so I'm like, all right, we got this.
We
Like we're
gotta hold
good.
on. Yeah.
We're hoping.
Yeah.
And Mahomes just drives down the field with ease. Just touchdown. I believe what was it, Kelsey?
Kelsey, yeah.
Travis Kelsey, and Mahomes just does it again, man. He just does it again. And I was dying at the at the tweet you sent me about Andy
And
Reid driving the bus around. Oh man.
dude, that was what made me so excited for the game because a couple things. One, the Raiders look great. Derek Carr looks like he's like a top 7 QB right now. He's looking really, really
Yeah.
good. And
I
I
think
know
he's
people were
undisputed
down on
top
him.
10 right now.
Oh,
People
hands
been
down.
down on him.
Yeah,
He's
and I
easily
know they
top
had
10 right now.
a rough couple years after they had made the playoffs with like a
Playoffs and he got
yeah.
hurt. Yeah.
But I think him and Gruden, I think it was Chris Collinsworth said something about it that Gruden came in and he was like, "Hey, forget everything you know about playing QB," and it seems like it revitalized his career, to be honest. So I think the Raiders moving forward are set. I love what's his name, the safety Abrams,
Abram.
dude.
Yeah,
He's
he
a
makes him.
dog.
He's one of those like. How do you explain it?
They were saying like
He's one
he's
of
like a
those.
mid 2000 safety, man.
Like he's like a super aggressive safety too, like big hits and stuff. Like I think he got like an unnecessary roughness play. Like he's
Yeah.
one of those like he's gonna have those moments, but every time he's one of those dudes that like every play is like up in someone's face, like
Oh,
go make a big hit. Doesn't matter. Like he's just always in someone's face, being like, I like that. It's just like sometimes like bro,
sometimes it's too much, but you need
like
somebody
you
like
need
that.
someone like that. Yeah,
You
it's
for sure do.
Like that Raiders like what they're known for being like
Yep.
dirty, blah blah blah. Like he fits the Raiders perfect.
Oh, yeah, hands down. Other
And I always
thing,
thought that I was gonna say I always thought that was gonna be Carl Joseph too. Just because
out of what?
didn't
Yeah,
end
I
up,
did too.
but
But
he didn't end up being
and
that.
this seems like a John Gruden player for sure.
Exactly.
But dude, Patrick Mahomes, he may be one of the best quarterbacks I've ever seen. Just talent wise, it's
I
crazy.
I've said that it goes him and then Aaron Rodgers,
It
in my opinion.
absolutely. Oh,
Like when you just
100%.
watch them play, when you just watch them throw the football, it's different than watching other people throw the
It
football. Like
doesn't make
when you watch
sense.
Mahomes, it's just different. It's just different. It's just something you don't see.
It's
It's like Steph Curry shooting a 3-pointer. Like it's
yeah,
just
it
different.
absolutely,
Like it's just
absolutely.
different. There's no one on that level. You've never seen anyone like that. People say like, no, like people just like it's Andy Reid. No one Andy Reid has thrown the football like Mahomes. Like it just doesn't happen. He's
No,
different.
dude, he's super different. He's
But
yeah, he's different.
yeah, it hurts. It definitely hurts. The Raiders though,
But that was a
six and
great
four.
game. You can't be
Yeah,
upset.
yeah.
I mean, it
No, yeah, can't
sucks,
be
but
upset. It sucks, yeah. But Raiders moving forward, like you said, is looking good for us. And Derek Carr, he's mobile. He's looking good. Josh Jacobs, we're good,
the
man.
Raiders
We're
have
gonna
played
move
them
forward.
tougher than anyone, man.
Yeah. Oh, that was what I was gonna say too. The only Mahomes has thrown 2 picks, and both of them against the Raiders.
Aren't
He's
both of
only
them
thrown two
Jeff
picks all
Heath?
year. I don't know if he
The
got
first
this
one
one.
was
The
what?
first
Didn't
one
Jeff?
was I don't know if he got one yesterday or Sunday.
Who was it?
It
Okay,
it might it might have been. I don't know.
I
Yeah, I
don't
don't
know,
remember.
but yeah, that's
I don't remember
crazy.
who got it. And then last game, Monday Night Football, Rams and Bucks. Cooper Cup and Robert Woods go
Dude,
crazy. Cooper Cup has 11 receptions, 145 yards. Robert Woods has 12 receptions, 130 yards, and a touchdown. That's just crazy, man. The Rams win again. Another big win versus the Bucks.
super good win. They've shown they can beat the Seahawks, the Buccaneers, and that's what's concerning about the Buccaneers is last week they looked like the undisputed best offense in the league, and then this week it's just like what's going on. So I don't know what it is. Brady looks really frustrated at times, and I don't think it's they have too many weapons because I know sometimes that's tough whenever you just have too many good players. I think it comes down to coaching. I haven't been big on Bruce Arians. I don't know. It could just be me, but I'm not big on him because they should be winning. But want to give the Rams credit. They have Ramsey and Donald, who have been two of the top 5 players on defense this year. And then, like you said, Cup and Woods, they're an underrated duo for
Yeah, they're
receivers.
underrated for sure. Yeah, the Rams look really good. The Bucks struggle, which kind of that's that team. You're not sure like they
Yeah,
could beat anyone, they could lose to anyone. Like it's just that simple.
for sure.
Brady, they got all those weapons. I just don't think he's like a gunslinger like that with those dudes. Like,
He's thrown some bad picks, dude.
yeah, like I'm just not like. I mean, I kind of thought like said this before though. If you give Rodgers those weapons, 300 plus every game. Even like someone like Jameis Winston,
That's
like
what I was
he's
about to say. What's crazy is Jameis on this team.
like yeah, like he's just hey, y'all gonna make a play. I might throw a couple picks, but y'all going
Yeah,
for 100 yards. Y'all going for 100 yards each.
yeah.
And like this game, I think they like two of them, Mike Evans and someone maybe had over like 50 to 60 yards, and Antonio Brown might have had like 40 some yards, something like that. None of them were over 60. They're all between 40 and 60 yards. So it's kind of like,
Dude, it's like low key. I wish this doesn't make any sense at all, but Brady and Jameis just switching spots. Both those teams are like, that's perfect. That's what they need. I mean, I don't know. But you're right.
yeah,
I never thought about that. That Brady's not that he's not built for that, but he's never had that many weapons before. And I don't know. That's really interesting.
yeah. All right, let's move on to next week. A big week because it's Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone tuned in. You know, all our thousands of viewers that we get each week, man. Happy
Hey,
Thanksgiving
Dad.
early.
My fault.
But Thursday night football, we got 3 games every
Yeah,
Thanksgiving. You know what you're getting. So, we're just going to talk about some of the key games of the week, but 2 of them we actually have on
on
Thursday night
Thanksgiving.
football. But
Yeah.
yeah, on Thanksgiving. But I'll go over all 3 just because it's Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And they always throw the Lions first.
Dude, I don't understand every damn year. Why? What? Doesn't make any sense.
Texans versus Lions. Come on.
God.
You get
dude.
think about it, you wake up Thanksgiving morning and the first thing I mean, it's probably not the morning on the East Coast. First thing you do, boom, I gotta watch the Texans and Lions game.
Man, no, but that is true. Every Thanksgiving, usually I'm thinking about family, friends, and Matt Stafford. So I mean, it makes sense.
No, it's funny because at GCU, obviously I work with the basketball team. Coach Marley, he's a Lions fan actually because he's from Michigan. So I remember one day we had like practice. We had practice on Thanksgiving, and he's all like, "Yeah, I gotta go and watch the Lions game."
You never heard that in your life.
No,
Besides that,
but then after the next day, I think they lost or something like that, and we're just making fun of him. He's like, "Yeah, I just sat there, upset and
dang, that's
upset watching
sad.
the Lions after the Lions game." But
It's a terrible
he's like,
game.
"Yeah." Anyways, so the 2 other Thanksgiving game, we got Washington at Dallas. That's a big game for the division. Like I said, Eagles are 3-6-1. Everyone else is 3-7. So winner of that moves up on the other team in the division. Which that's a big one for playoffs, obviously. Who knows
Mhm.
who's going to win that division? The Giants even still have a chance. The Giants actually play the Bengals. So the Giants play the Bengals
That's
this
a
week,
winnable
which is big
game.
for them. Winnable. They could get a game, and the Eagles play the Seahawks on Monday Night Football. They could lose. So the division could shift this week. And the night game, which actually I'm excited for again, Ravens and Steelers. This is a big game for the Ravens, man. They're going against the undefeated Steelers, but the Ravens need this bad. They need it. They need it. Thursday night football.
Yeah, that's a must win. 2 reasons, standings wise, but I mean, that's a playoff team. You gotta show up. Who do the Browns play?
The Browns play the Jaguars, so the Browns they
So
look like they're moving and grooving.
so they gotta win this. Yeah, I think the Ravens, like you said, they gotta win this, um, and then on the Washington Cowboys. Yeah, I mean, it's looking like it could completely shift. And 5 weeks ago, if you said this was going to be a key game for who makes the playoffs, I would have said absolutely not. But it actually is, and it actually may be a solid game. I mean, Washington, yeah, they're kind of and Cowboys are too, but
it's,
yeah,
it's it's 2 teams of the same level.
it's
They're all
weird.
the
Yeah,
same level of teams. They all suck.
exactly. Yeah, no, they absolutely do, and whoever makes the playoffs is going to get absolutely washed, and they're going to have a very sad holiday season. But yeah, dude. They just gonna get a travel day to whoever they go to for the playoffs, and that's it. So
Next up, Sunday, we got Titans at Colts, the division.
it's a great one.
This is another good one. They played a couple weeks ago, right? It was
Yeah,
not too long ago. It was like 2 weeks ago.
who? Yeah, what the? I'm like, I feel like they just played. I don't
It
remember
was
who
Thursday
won.
night football, I think. I
Wasn't
think
it
it was the Colts.
the Colts
Colts.
won? Okay,
Thursday night football, I
it
believe.
was. That was like a week and a half ago. Dear God, man.
They're
Okay,
right back at it on Sunday. This is
it's a
a big
playoff
game.
game.
Winner of it takes the leading division. I think the Colts were a game back at that time,
Yep,
and then they tied it up. So that's gonna be a big
both coming
one.
off big wins too. So
Yeah, so we'll see who can win that one. Who you got in that one?
I got the Colts, man.
I got the Titans. I think they figure it out this time. and Derrick Henry has a big game. That's just that's what I'm going with, man.
It's gonna be a good one for sure.
Yep. Who knows? Next up, Chiefs at Buccaneers. Tom Brady versus Mahomes. This is big. I think, they always say Tom Brady doesn't have two back-to-back bad games, but he's playing Mahomes. Can they get the win?
I don't know. I'm glad you said that, because at first glance I'm like, oh, Chiefs are 100% winning this. The Buccaneers look bad. Chiefs are rolling, but like you just said, I mean, they're not about to get waxed again. And I don't know. It seems like they tend to. I don't know. I was gonna say play down to the other teams, but they just got beat by the Rams. So I think it's a close game, but I do think the Chiefs are gonna come out. They're just different. They're like even like you mentioned with Steph Curry. They're like the Warriors, where you don't really see any weaknesses. They just
Yeah.
look good.
Yeah, I think the Chiefs win this play. I think they actually dominate this. I think Mahomes probably finds some extra motivation going against Tom Brady. Like,
That's true.
this
Yeah.
is who they say is the greatest player of all time. Like, all right, like
Yeah.
I gotta show down. Where I don't see Mahomes playing against Brady.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
absolutely not.
Where you see him in other games sometimes, at the beginning of the year they kind of play down. This one I think he really tries to go out and dominate, and I think he probably does it pretty easily.
Yeah. And you know what's crazy is Sammy Watkins has been hurt, and I'm pretty sure he's coming back soon.
I think he's supposed to come back too.
Even
Yeah.
though he's not their number one, but I mean, that's for him to be your number 2 or 3 or 4 is crazy.
Yeah. That was actually all the games we had highlighted. One I will say though, I don't think it's gonna that big of a game, but it does matter. Sunday night football, Bears at Packers. Pretty much if the Packers win this, they don't clinch it, but they pretty much got the division because there'll be 3 games up on the Bears, and I don't see the Bears like coming back from that. So that's another good one, kind of.
And the Bears defense is good, so it'll be a good
Yeah,
offense
it's
versus
Bears.
defense. That's about
It's
it.
Bears. It's Bears Packers. It's Bears Packers.
Yeah,
I heard they don't know who's gonna start Nick Foles or Trubisky. They're not sure yet. So.
it don't matter. They're both
And then
trash.
prime time, like I said earlier, Seahawks Eagles. I mean, if the Eagles they need to win, but I don't know if they can get it versus Seahawks.
The Seahawks actually do need it. I mean, because like
They
we've
need it
talked
too. Yeah,
about, the NFC West is super close, so that'd be a good one for them to get.
yeah. I think looking at the rest, the Cardinals play the Patriots, which actually the Patriots are always competitive.
Yeah,
So that they could, Cardinals need it because they're only 6-4, so they're getting behind. And the Niners play the Rams. I mean, the Niners. You don't know what you're going to get with the Niners. Sometimes they're competitive, sometimes they get whacked. So, but the Rams, you're thinking the Rams should win that easily, so they'll probably be 8-3. The Seahawks will need to win to keep up with them.
yeah.
So,
I'm super excited. It's 3 wild card teams now. It makes it a lot more interesting.
yep. So I mean, that's all we got for this one. Like once again, happy Thanksgiving. Excited for football this week. Nothing beats some Thanksgiving football, man.
Yeah, man. Nothing beats. I mean, yeah, we're blessed. We got the Lions, Texans. So just think about that. I'll probably get like a picture of them above my bed, so when I wake up, I can see that and be thankful for that game. What dish you looking forward to for Thanksgiving?
Ooh.
Ooh.
I'm not gonna lie. My favorite is always just like it's not even I don't even think it's always the Thanksgiving dish. My favorite is the turkey sandwich the next day.
Ooh.
Like a good real
Yeah.
like that
Or
real
like noon.
turkey.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
the noon the next day. Like
That's
okay,
true.
turkey's great. Like it's always great, but that next day turkey sandwich just I feel like it hits different. It's just like that leftover
Super different.
turkey. I don't know. That's just one of my
Leftovers in general after Thanksgiving, you're like,
yeah,
oh
like
man, that's
like
great.
Thanksgiving, you always go make your plate, kind of everyone's, there's usually a lot of people, so it's kind of like, just get a little plate, like. But then
Yeah.
that next day when there's leftovers, no one's there, you can just go crazy.
You're right. I never thought about it like that, but they always do hit
What
different.
about
Even
you?
the
What's your,
mac and
what's your favorite
cheese,
dish?
dude. Mac and cheese is always a classic, but we have brisket a lot on Thanksgiving, and
Ooh,
I'm pretty excited for some brisket and mac and cheese. So a little
yeah.
brisket.
What about dessert? What's your favorite dessert?
Dessert, man. I don't really like pies like that. If I get pie, it's gotta be like a fudge or chocolate pie. But Man, just maybe some cookies, a chocolate chip cookie. It's not really a Thanksgiving dessert.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes my mom makes like a cheesecake. I love cheesecake, so
Cheesecake's great, yeah.
I love cheesecake. But if not, a pumpkin pie with some whipped cream on top can't disappoint. You know what I mean?
Okay. A little pumpkin action. Yeah,
Yeah.
I dig it, man. All right, well we'll be back, and then we'll still we're going to do the NBA draft recap and free agency because there's actually still things happening in
Yeah,
free
it's still
agency,
happening. So
which
yeah,
is crazy. So
yeah.
yeah, we'll be back next Tuesday for NFL and figure out a time and day for NBA.
See y'all, thousands of viewers next one.
Appreciate y'all, man.